Hey, everybody, are we recording?
We are.
Oh, look at that. Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here, welcoming you to another Toon'd with Jim Cummings. Ooh, we have a really cool guest today, and I'm not going to spoil it by telling you her name. Yes, I will. It's Mindy. She's my old con buddy. We met at conventions, and here we are once again. And ladies and gentlemen, say hello.
Woo!
Mindy Sterling.
Woo!
And the crowd went wild.
But you know what? I think we did the first time we met. I think we did whatchamacallit?
Oh, yes, the Powerpuff Girls. Maybe
No.
Ants.
No, it's the big thing. You did the dog.
Oh wow.
Bolto?
That could have been
Bolto.
anything. No.
Was it Bolto?
Wasn't it? Was it?
Was it Bolto? He did a dog in Bolto.
No, it's the big dog that talks.
Clifford?
No.
Oh.
The big dog that talks.
Oh, what's wrong with me?
Well, it could have been Pete.
No,
Everybody
no.
thinks
Keep going.
he's-
Keep going.
Well,
she's a cracker.
No.
Fuzzy
it's-
Lumpkins isn't a
No,
dog,
they
is
were.
it?
Remember, it's everybody. It's a mystery.
Scooby-Doo?
And I guess I'm completely wrong because you would have gotten it by now. Because it's a big. It's Snoop. It's not Snoopy, but what's his name?
You don't mean
Garfield.
Scooby-Doo?
No,
That's not a-
Scooby Doo.
Cat.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Scooby-Doo.
What did you do, Scooby?
I did. No, I wasn't Scooby, but I was in a bunch of them.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
then
that-
I guess I was wrong. And good night.
Good night, everybody.
But you're right. We did meet at a Comic-Con,
Yeah.
and I was sitting next to you. And this was during COVID or after COVID.
Yeah, whatever
do you
that
remember?
was.
Because we had to have the shield.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to talk to people and stuff, and so we had the shield, and I just, you had the most amazing, groups coming up to you, and everybody was just in awe, and it was like, it just got me. I was so touched
sweet.
because you would start talking to the kids
Yeah.
as Pooh.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, wow, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Well, it's very sweet. Yeah, I'm very blessed in that regard. He's universally loved, and then I go out there and oh brother, stay sweetest, honey, and then
That's
everybody's
right,
happy.
you're right.
Then I can go back to being a weasel, and it evens out.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not bad.
But they're hard to do. They're hard. The concert. I mean, it takes a lot out of you, right?
Little, yeah. It's the feeling of being on all day.
I'm exhausted by the end of the day. I have my wine, and then
That's right.
that's it. I drop. I go.
Good night, everybody. Again. Yeah. No, I agree. It's an odd discipline, because for me, the 40th person, 100th, 200th person deserves as much attention as the first.
Oh gosh, yes.
And because you want to gear up, you want everyone. Every one of them's the Super Bowl.
Yes, yes.
That's what it
and
feels
everyone
like.
is important.
Yeah.
And everyone is, a real person. I
Mm-hmm.
am probably, I don't know, maybe that's rare, but I absolutely love doing them.
Yeah. So do I.
Absolutely love. If I could do it every weekend, I probably my physical health probably would never,
Yeah,
But
you would get tired.
I would, but I really love doing them and mixing with all of you guys that are there and people that I didn't know and da da da. But I love the fans.
Yeah, it's really nice. I agree. It's it's always fun to see someone come up dressed as Winnie the Pooh, and you look, and here's a 90-year-old grandma. And I go, oh man, get over here! I got to get some sugar here. This is too sweet, And my children love Winnie the Pooh, and I can tell, and it's just a sweet thing.
Yeah,
It
no, it's
really
very
is,
cool.
yeah.
It's a good job, and it's not even a job. It's
Yeah.
it's a good thing, mitzvah,
What you said.
mitzvah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bat or bar? It's just mitzvah. Got it. Okay.
Besides
Foreign
Frau, what are the
language.
roles that people mostly know you for at the cons, besides Frau?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, what I get mostly are surprises because the first they'll have one in mind, so it could be Austin Powers. Mm-hmm. But as they're coming through, they see all the other things that I've done, and then they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were Chowder and Chowder. I didn't know you were in this. I didn't know you were that." So it's kind of really cool for me to see. And there's all these ages because mine is more. It's family and it's kids. So I get kind of the whole spectrum of types of people to come. And so that's really exciting. It's not just one or the other. I think the last one that we did, the biggest, it was Austin Powers, but then it was also Cora, which was, animated.
nice.
Yes. And I was really, really lucky to have that. And then, these other little things that they just go, oh no, oh my God. So,
I get a
right?
kick out of that.
Yeah.
I like it when they go, I didn't know you were the third weasel on the left, or, whatever it was.
Yes. Yes.
And then sometimes I don't either. I go, are you sure it was me? And then they go, yeah. That's all.
I have a problem when they start talking to me about, so remember when Cora did this and this and that, and how did you feel? And I don't know about you, but I don't watch them.
Yeah.
And I feel really guilty saying this, but
Yeah.
I just don't. And if somebody says, hey, Mindy, look, or I'll see something, but I don't go, oh, it's time to watch myself. And but somebody told me to do this to them, to just go, oh yeah. What do you think she would have done, or what do you think, and let them answer that, because it's like, oh, good, at least, because then I'm making them feel horrible. It's like, oh, I don't watch anything. I have nothing else to say to you.
Is there a reason you don't watch it, because you don't like watching yourself,
Well,
over
that's
critique
one.
yourself, or
That's a big one. No, I don't know. I don't watch animation. I will audition. I love doing the stuff, believe me. I like to watch mysteries of people in Australia, or I like dark stuff. I don't watch comedy. I really love to sit there and just be so intense and don't talk to me, and and you just think, oh my God, this is going to end. I can go to bed now, and then you go, oh my God, they left me at this moment. I'm going to have to see what happens
Now
next.
you have to go, click. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Really? Do you
Yeah,
do that?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
you get binge watch.
Oh, what do you like to watch?
Well, I do like horror movies, and I like comedies. And horror-filled comedies are good. Murder by Death was good. Was that horror? It wasn't really horror, but
Yeah, not horror.
Yeah.
But do you like when they break people apart, and they and they come out, and you're in your mind going, don't go there, don't go. Oh boy. they got it.
yeah, the movies that are mutilation, and no, it's just like snuff films or something. No, stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah. And what comedies do you watch? I feel like I hope you don't mind I'm asking a lot of questions, but
No,
that's what I
right.
do.
Well, I like Steve Martin and Martin Short, the one they're doing right now.
Only Murders in the Building?
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that stuff's right up my alley.
And I'm sorry, but
You know.
I think, what's his name, is so amazing in it.
Martin Short?
Martin Short
Oh, he's
is
amazing.
at his best. I know people don't think so. I just am in awe of him going for it and just
me too.
doing what he does, and I think he's brilliant.
Oh, God, so do I. And the other one, Schitt's Creek. Are you familiar with that one?
Well, I've seen that. Schitt's Creek, yes. I've seen that. I know, I don't know. I just am not. Isn't that
grab you.
weird? Well, that's all I do is most comedy.
Sure.
And it's kind of like, I don't know. It just, sometimes I think, especially sitcoms, it's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's
what
the
they're
kiss
going to
of
say.
death.
Or it's just not a surprise to me. And the murder mysteries, because they'll go on for like, 5 episodes until we find
Yes.
out what's going on.
Yes.
And then you think, oh my God, okay, I know who it is. It's not.
Yes,
When you
I love that.
I love that kind
Me
of
too.
stuff. The last one they just saw that wasn't British or anything like that was, this is where I just completely blank.
That's my
this is
job.
Mindy just going, nothing's there.
Yes, good old
Yeah.
murder. Agatha Christie. No.
No,
Sherlock
it's the
Holmes,
one. It was
no.
it was a redone one, and it was, it was with what's.
The one where the person dies and then they find out who did it eventually.
It's and he's innocent. Something like you don't know if he's innocent or not.
The Fugitive.
No. Oh, look at this. We're all like the same. Nobody gets me. No, it was what's his name? He's a great actor. Oh God.
Is it a true crime show or is it a
I hope
scripted?
someone can call in.
Yes.
They should.
Call in right now.
No, it was on Apple TV,
Okay.
and it was a redo thing, and it was
reboot.
something innocent.
Okay.
Almost
Presumed
Googling.
innocent.
Thank you.
Presumed innocent, that's the one.
Presumed
Yeah.
innocent.
Yes.
And that
with Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yes,
right?
thank you.
Yes.
And that's when somebody says you'll never. Oh, I know who it is, and of course, then I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be, and I went off. I was completely wrong.
That's good. I like those. I like
So
those.
I was surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're surprised, that's it.
I think I was almost too off of it. Like I thought, I think it was just the guy sitting in the restaurant that we never heard from.
Just one of the extras.
Yeah.
Had to have been him.
Oh, I know, because we didn't know anything about him yet.
That was Truman Capote's character in that one movie, right? And you always change it and make it be somebody that was introduced in the fifth act. And how can we guess that? That was my bad, Truman Capote.
Oh no, that is so good that it's annoying.
Yeah, well then that is a good one then.
He had an annoying voice.
Yes.
But that is so good.
Yeah, well, thank you. I almost met him once. This isn't a riveting story. No, I was in a band in New Orleans, and we were in the musicians union, and they had to have X amount of musicians because the circus was in town, and all they really did was hire a guy who I think played. One guy was on accordion and a drummer, and I want to say a trombone player. That was the band.
Oh.
That was it. I played drums, but they already had one. And so me and 3 other guys in my band were hired because you had to have that many people there.
Did you sing?
And so, no, I didn't do anything but sit there and watch the circus. And then there was a break, and I went down to get a coffee, and and I went into this bar, and it was, fine, and there was no one there. And I went to the restroom, and there were just pictures of naked men all over the restroom.
Oh.
And I went, I'm in the girls' room. and these are really forward girls. I have not met these particular girls. So I went in the other one, and it was the same guys on the wall. And I went,
interesting.
I'm still in the girls' room. and I now have to leave now. And I went out, and I slammed
all over
down
yourself.
my bed. Yeah, I peed all over myself. And there was Truman Capote sitting at the bar. He had come in when I was there, and his husband. And I said, it's official. I'm in the wrong bar.
Yeah. Oh my God,
So-
that is so great.
So that was my big,
What
big
a great, yes.
sighting.
Uh-oh, yes. Oh my
It
God,
was-
that's funny.
it was, very literate.
We've all had those.
Yes.
Of course, I just can't remember any right now for me.
Well, I'm glad I remembered that, sort of. I'm not
That
real
is
glad I
so-
remembered
Oh my God, no, that's very, very funny.
Thank you. I'll take it. What do you
Mindy,
think?
you must
Brad?
have some funny bathroom stories, right?
Yeah, have you got a funny bathroom story?
I'm
Maybe
asking
that's
Mindy.
a
She must have
category.
one.
You know that there is, I know this is going to sound gross. Maybe not. But they've got this new thing in some of the women's bathroom because some of the women tend to, there's 2 pictures. There's a picture and it crosses it out, and there's a picture to do it the right way. So the one that's crossed out is a woman just getting on top of the toilet.
Yeah. Okay.
But not sitting on the toilet. So her legs are, and it's almost like if you were.
So it was an elevated approach to the
Yes. So
problem.
what happens is when we go into the bathroom and I see the toilet completely filled with water, you're like, oh, is that water or is that piss?
Yes.
But so this is crossed out, and then the one that you want is the woman sitting like this, doing it normally.
Getting
I've
a
never
wet bum.
seen anything like that
No.
in my life.
No.
I swear to God, I should have taken a picture.
Oof.
Is that like creepy or weird?
Yes.
Little both?
Yes and yes.
I was in Tokyo last year,
Yeah.
and they had like similar signs. I used a bathroom. It was at a subway station, and they had so many different little ways of like not to use the toilet. It was like somebody standing on the
Yes, yes.
toilet. There was even a picture of a T-shirt. I took a picture, and it was like no T-shirts in the toilet, and I was like,
In
why?
the toilet?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like things to not use.
Oh, yes.
Deal.
Oh.
It means
Got
means
it.
don't do your laundry in the toilet. Is what it
Got
says.
it. Oh.
Yeah. And I
Oh,
was
sage
like,
advice.
that had to have been what it meant. And I was like, what in the world? Who does their laundry in a public subway toilet?
That is
Frequently enough that there has to be a sign to not do it.
Homeless people, I would
guess
assume, are
so.
people that don't. Yes,
I guess so.
Don't clean themselves. But oh my God, that is the weirdest thing.
It was so bizarre. So bizarre.
Well,
Japan's a fascinating place.
I do come across a lot of something on the toilets, and I'm like, oh Jesus! All right, now I've got to clean it.
Yeah. Get those little T-shirts that they give you. Oh no, those aren't T-shirts. Never mind. Those little,
Mindy, I must ask you.
we're talking about toiletry items here. This is good.
Yeah, Mindy, when you agreed to do the podcast, did you realize you'd be talking about how to use a toilet? Is that what you thought you'd be talking about?
Yes, I have saved this story.
Yeah, that's right.
For this place because I knew we didn't have anything to talk about, and I'm thinking of all the worst things that could come out of my mouth.
Yes. Well, that qualifies. You win.
Yeah, I'm the girl who's just a little inappropriate.
Well, we like.
I wanted to touch on how you said you first got into show business because you realized you could pretend to be somebody else. Do you like doing voice acting more than standard acting because you can sort of really become somebody else and not have your face on the screen?
Ooh, okay. Well, I can tell you at this time in my life and the fact that I cannot remember things, that acting is really hard for me. And I'm very honest about it, and I really will work my butt off. But I always tell people I'm a great improviser and I'm really funny. So if you can work with me.
I think that's part of what makes you a great improviser.
Well, I mean, thank you. And it's just, and I'm not there to change everybody's writing or story. I mean, as I'm getting older, and I've always had that sort of insecurity of not remembering things, but it's getting a little older now, and I'm not trying to put this out there so everybody will be afraid to work with me. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But I love doing voiceover work. Again, make it simple.
Yeah.
Because there's the reading part. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it is, it's just a different way to express yourself. And I find that you can do different things that I wouldn't be doing in, on a show or something. It's not, I'm not going to play this character.
Yeah,
But
right.
I might in voiceover.
Yeah. I don't know. That was pretty good.
Maybe not. I like both, but I'd love to do more voiceover stuff. I mean, how did you? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm asking other questions.
No, that's
how did
good.
you? Was that the first thing that you did before acting?
Well, I was as a kid.
Yeah.
I think we all, community theater, and I said it before. I did, I was a cute little kid, more or less, but I didn't want to play a cute little kid. I wanted to be the troll under the bridge.
Okay.
Or I wanted to be the weasel who snuck around the barn or, did something like that. And I was inadvertently preparing myself for what I've done now, all these years. Character voices, because, they always had to have a weird voice. They always did.
It would be
And
interesting
that's,
to see you. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
It would be interesting to see you because I'm a character actress, so I
Sure.
love doing it. So my first thing would go to my body, or it's a visual
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So to see some of your characters, but how you would play it, and as not as an animation, but as a person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were thinking about that the other day. The first time I ever saw myself on camera, it was Entertainment Tonight, the first iteration of Winnie the Pooh, because when Pooh came back in the 80s, he'd been gone for 20 years. So, people forget that.
Yeah.
But, and Entertainment Tonight, and I saw obviously I saw it when it aired, but I was standing there and I was doing Tigger, and I was standing, and I had my hands on my hips, and I was, kind of chest out, and, this and that. And then when I did Winnie the Pooh, my shoulders slumped and my tummy bulged out a bit. And I would go, oh my God, I would know who I was doing, even if I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So I think there's that
Because I think you have
physicality.
to do that. I mean, I watch
Carries
people.
over, yeah.
And usually, if you change. You
Yeah.
physically change. You know, you're not wearing another wardrobe or anything. But I find it really interesting to watch other people.
Oh, yeah.
And they get into it, and it's like, you believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to stand all the time. I had to stand. I don't know why, but it just felt like I was at work.
Yeah. So if you had to do something, you would stand a long time?
Yeah.
But you would sit when you're not doing something and then get up and would stay, yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. You know, that was the joke when we were doing the Tasmania show. I would stop at the comic book shop and I would read, and I wouldn't bother reading the script because all I would do was react to whatever anybody said before me.
Right.
In Taz speak.
Yeah.
And it would be either, or, it would be
Easy.
And it was so I could go back to reading my comic, because when they have when Taz had a line, it would be exclamation point, ampersand, question mark, dollar sign, and that meant that's what that meant. And so so
I love that's the trademark. Yes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dialogue. Oh my God, that's so funny.
So we do what odd little things creep in.
But I think it's such a great business. I think.
Oh, me too.
I mean, when I first started, I was like in awe of everything and watching everyone, and
Yeah.
I still do that.
Oh, me too.
I mean, I still feel like I'm still learning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully we feel that way for a long
I know,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Knock,
yeah.
knock, knock, knock.
Knock on wood is right.
Speaking of being in awe of somebody, what was it like working with Mike Myers?
Well, I've had so many people come up to me, even at the con, and go, "I heard Mike was kind of tough." And I went, well,
yeah.
you know what? When you're having a bad day, maybe you're tough too. And I said, I only have incredible memories. I only have. He's always been very good to me. He's always. He was about making things funny. If you brought something in and you tried something, he would listen to it. He would say, "Oh, do more of that," or blah blah blah. So I wasn't there to change anything. I was there to hopefully give him what he wanted.
Was there a lot of improv on those sets?
Not a little, not a lot. No, not a lot. I think between Seth Green
Yeah.
and him, when they would do things like, he'd be like, and and all that kind of stuff. They did that back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and it was great. They had a nice thing. And then I would do little things like yeah, and add things to it. But they were just really like little things that she responding, and he was, I mean, we're not like, we don't hang out. But I owe him so much. I mean, not only was it such a great, I mean, I got to be in
character.
3
Oh, my God.
amazing films, and he was like so good to me, and everybody else that was there. That was like that gave me this. I get to move up a little bit in the world of show business now. And
That's for sure.
so I always have such a good place in my heart for him. But he's also a perfectionist. He wrote it, or if he co-wrote it, and he would have to. He wanted to look at some of the daily. I mean, it's his baby.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think we get sometimes when we're doing all of that, we can get a little. Again, I don't know what people have said. It could have been about just not so much on just something with the producers or that part I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I never saw him be bad or do anything that I thought, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not Mr. Diva.
Yeah, no.
That's good. Well, he seems like such a nice guy.
And he's doing whatchamacallit again? The
Shrek.
Ted?
Who?
He's doing
What?
Shrek 5.
It was Shrek 5.
Yes.
5?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was 4. Wow.
I didn't either. I was going to say.
Well, the first
2.
one was the best one
Yeah.
because I had a line in it.
Did
I
you?
think. Yeah. It was. I had like 3 lines.
Who did you play?
I was the captain of the guard, and you could have not pushed me over with a feather. Guess how many movies that made for me when I was in that movie? Okay, thanks. 2. It was 2. we were sitting there watching I Am Legend, Will Smith. I think it was I Am Legend.
Yeah.
We're sitting there watching this after the Holocaust movie. Are you familiar with the movie? Everybody out there.
After the Holocaust.
Whatever. What, not the
Zombie
Holocaust.
apocalypse.
Zombie
Apocalypse. Jeepers,
That's what I
creepers.
meant to
Same
say.
thing.
Not that
Very similar.
Holocaust.
Yes.
I meant a nuclear.
I know, that's what I was like.
I was thinking nuclear holocaust. Anyway,
Oh, my goodness.
But it was a zombie apocalypse, and we're sitting there watching a completely unrelated movie, and all of a sudden my voice comes out, "Lo, it's a flying donkey! Ye gads, what the hell?" And I went, "Jesus, that's me!" And he was watching Shrek on the television.
Oh, my God.
In the movie. And it
He's there. You
and it-
there.
and it
Olga,
picked
that guy.
My 3 or 4 lines, and it just luck of the draw.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, ka-ching, and then,
Yeah.
and then I was in another movie for free.
That is very cool. That is
For Will
lucky,
Smith
very
sitting
cool.
there.
Yes.
I
Oh my
know.
God.
What a way to sneak into
Yes.
a show.
Yes.
Can you just, Jim? Can you just give the viewers at home the "You there, Olga"? You there, Olga. We want to hear it again.
Yeah, you there, Olga. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's the line. Any kid
That's
who grew
one
up
line?
in
That's
that
the
era,
line?
that's the line that we all remember.
Really?
Yeah, you there, Olga. You got it. It's a flying donkey. and it was, yeah, so it was fun. Ka-ching.
Are you going to do it again?
Oh, God, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait
No,
for
but
them
you don't
to
know,
lift
right?
some-
Because
yeah,
they're
you never
just,
know.
I don't know, have they just put it together or what? I don't know.
It's pretty much done now, I think.
Oh, it is?
I think it's at least started production, well into it. I'm
So
fairly
it's coming
sure,
out
yeah.
soon.
It's coming out next year, I've heard. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Hey, has there ever been talks of a potential 4th Austin Powers, or is it
Every
just never?
single
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
day of my life. Well, all I can say
That'd be okay.
is, yes, all I can say is the last time I saw Mike was we did the commercial during the Super Bowl. Do you remember that about the electric cars? So they brought us all back. And he said to me, hey, thank you so much for doing this. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. And he said, yeah, I'm thinking of doing another one. And I went, really? Okay, that's
yeah,
great.
let's-
And he goes,
yeah.
it would be like, from Dr. What's his name?
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, thank you. Dr. Evil's point of view. And I went, that'd be great, that'd be great. And I said, yeah, people need this now because, it was just that, time of the world and blah, blah, blah. Never heard anything. And I've asked a couple of people that knew him, and I just, I really don't know what he's up to, what he's doing, or, and maybe he's, because he would go on shows and they'd ask him, and he goes, well, I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no.
Oh, that's the answer, all right.
So, yeah, so it's a shame. I would love to do it before I die, if that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's always a good.
Yeah.
It
That's
feels like we're in a world now where 4th Austin Powers just feels right. Everyone's doing
Don't you
reboots,
think?
sequels. Yeah.
I mean, especially right now. Especially, we've had, and I did not feel them, but we've had 2 earthquakes here.
Yeah.
I didn't feel them
I
at
felt,
all.
I felt
Okay.
one.
Okay. There's, Turkey is killing all of the dogs. I know that's terrible of me. And so all this stuff that, you look at and you're like, I don't want to read about this. I just can't. There's this war and this going and this man wants to be president. And I'm having such a hard time feeling, like every day is like, great.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's get up and do something fun.
Yeah.
So it would be. And there isn't anything like that that's coming out anywhere. There's nothing on. When is the last time, and maybe you probably do it more than I do, that you went to a theater to see a movie?
I take the kids a lot.
That's
But for
different,
my,
yeah.
just
You
my,
have
my
kids.
wife and I, very rarely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but but you see kids movies.
Yeah, I can't think of the last
Yeah.
I
one.
went for Deadpool and
It was,
Wolverine.
How was that?
That
It was
was
great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, I have not seen it. I have not gone to a movie in many, many times.
Yeah.
And then if you go see a movie, make sure that it's something that, like, any action or something that's just,
A spectacle.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know how they're doing business.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
like I feel like that genre of like the genre that Austin Powers was even in. I feel like they just don't even really do that genre of movies anymore. You know, like I always say it's like the death of like the mid, and when I say mid budget, like Hollywood mid budget. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
$20 to $50 million movies, $20 to $50 million comedies have kind of just ceased to exist. And I think that's why they put so much comedy into like these Marvel movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
they
it
need
kind
that.
of absorbed those movies. And it was like, okay, we'll still give people this kind of thing, but we need to appease the investors first and foremost. And we're going to be spending, you know, we'd rather spend $400 million
Right.
on a movie and get $1 billion than take a gamble on $20 to $50 million. And maybe it flops, or maybe, you know, it's a big hit. And even if it's a big hit, you know, maybe we get 200 million.
Yeah, again, it's all money and it's all power and it's all, you know. I always thought it was like so interesting that when they would do all of these animation films and stuff, that it would be, you know, stars, big stars who don't make that as their living. And why are they just using the most, you know, another set of amazing actors who do voice and giving them one or two lines?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And of course, now I
Absolutely.
know, because they want to hang out with the stars.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
They want to hang out with the stars.
Yep.
And mom would love to come and, oh, you know who's playing blah. Kids don't care.
No.
And so I thought, wow, that's a shame. It's a shame that there are not more people that get those opportunities to do that. But you know, that's just the way it is right now, and everything is different. And
Yeah.
did I tell you?
I mean,
the world
I've
is
said
just crazy?
I've
Yeah,
said
you're
this. Call me crazy. I love Jack Black, but I think Jim would have been a fantastic Bowser in the Super Mario movies. I feel like if that movie was made in the early 90s, Jim would have been Bowser.
I think so too. I didn't see it, but I agree.
I didn't see it either. See, those are the things I don't watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't in it.
Just that gravelly villain, that's who Jim is. You know?
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
I give good
what
gravel.
What kind of things do you do a lot of, like similar? Like mine, I do a lot of very strong women, and
Yes.
they're always angry and they're always mean to people. What
And
do
then
you
you're a pumpkin in real life, so
yeah,
it's
I'm such a
interesting.
baby. I'm such
See?
a baby.
No comprendo. I don't get it.
But what do you?
But yeah, well, I all my villains end up being comedic. Like there was a guy for Tailspin. I was Don Carnage, and he was incredible. Just ask him. But he was a bad guy. But he kind of fell over his feet a little bit, and he fumbled around. But he was still the perfect foil for Baloo the bear, and I'm Baloo too. So I get in fights with myself a lot. And then
But you got to create that. They didn't
Yeah.
say to you, "I want you to
Yeah.
give him an accent." Right?
Yeah, well, actually, everybody, they told me this, everybody, because when you hear a pirate, you know it's always
Yeah.
going to be this fella right there. You know, and I've done him too. But I thought, well, and of course I wasn't thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean, but they had them. And I said, why don't we let him be vaguely from somewhere in you know,
some other
somewhere in Caribbean, wherever that is. But he sounded vaguely Puerto Rican, Jamaican,
Yeah,
or
right.
something. Anyway, but he sounded like a foreigner. So,
love it.
So that was it. And then who was my other one? My other.
But you do a lot. You do a lot of.
Hondo's very funny with his quips.
Yeah, Hondo.
What?
Well, yeah, Hondo Onaka. He's a space pirate.
How does he talk?
Well, he is a cross between. I did Yul Brynner and Charles Bronson.
Oh my God.
And I put them together, because I've said this many times, but if you do bad impressions, it's good because nobody knows who it is, so it's a new character.
Sure, but in your mind, you're doing
but
somebody.
in your mind, you're doing
yeah.
somebody. And if you do a perfect impression, that's good. You never know, you might be able to use it. But if you do one here and one there, and you can put them together, Hondo Onaka is Yul Brynner and Charles Bronson put together. Now, they would not have a good-looking kid if they actually had a kid. But if they did, it would be Hondo.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So, you know.
Yeah, I don't do impressions.
Apparently, I don't either. But some of my biggest characters, that like Tigger was already there, Paul Winchell, Sterling Holloway was already there,
my
Winnie the
God,
Pooh.
yeah.
And but the rest are kind of me, except for Louis, I guess. Louis Prima was King Louis. I'm the orangutan. Everybody calls him an ape.
They're different. That's different, orangutan and an ape.
Yes.
Is the orangutan bigger?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh.
They swing, man. Yeah, they got to bring the fulcrum out your trunk.
Oh,
And
God.
he was good old Louis Prima from New Orleans.
I feel like this little girl right now.
I was going to say, you just become a little child all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I love it. No, I'm really. It's like I'd rather see it in person than on, because then I get to see the person completely transform
Yeah, and
themselves.
you see that
and
weird
it's
face I have to make.
Yeah, that real,
Don't look,
whatever
don't
we
look.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, you have body language. And
Yeah.
it's interesting.
That works.
Yes, it
Do you think you transformed for your role as Frau in Austin Powers when you were playing her?
Well, she was, I mean, she, it was kind of, when I got the script, and I know that there was a movie that was like, oh, it's very much like Von blah 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 whatever, and I didn't want to watch it because I didn't want to think,
Yeah.
I have to be like her.
Yeah.
So it
would
kind of
weasel its way in.
Yeah, and so I won't do that. And so so it was just sort of this. She's German. I don't know if I'm talking German, or I think my German, all my other accents are just the same. But I don't know. But I'd have to hear something. I'd have to really, work through that. No, she was just the first one. She just basically was just there. But she had she so wanted to run this situation, but she knew where her place was and blah 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 blah. So it was kind of cool. And then as the second and third, we gave her more things, and we found out a little bit more about her, that she never aged. From
That's gotta
the
be
60s.
convenient.
Yeah, that was great. He's like, and it is, Frau, and it was just one of those things where I remember leaving the audition and going, which I do a lot. Oh, I fucked up. It was horrible.
it.
It was horrible.
What was
my
I
God,
thinking?
I wasn't German at all.
Yeah. I sounded Bavarian.
Oh yeah, it's like
It was terrible.
Oh, nobody laughed. Shit. And so you just never know.
Yeah. Well, Sue Blue, she one of the great voice actors
Right.
and directors of all time. She years and years ago, she goes, and when you go to do an audition, and you're sitting in the room, and you're looking, you do your audition, you do it in one or two, you do 3 or 4 takes or whatever it is, and they're sitting there and they're going.
Yeah.
It's what you're supposed to think is going, wow, I've never heard anything this good in my life.
Yes.
This guy, where'd they get this guy?
Yes.
How could he possibly be this good? You know what? We don't have to see anybody else. We're done. You take all that body language and put it in your
Absolutely.
head, and then you try to throw it back out there in the room and see if it works. But
No. It's absolutely. And now, because we're doing, we're doing everything from home. Mm-hmm. So now you don't get that extra, like try this, try that, and they would.
Yeah.
Mindy, it says she's crying. Oh, I didn't even see that. Thank you. I'm missing all the things that help me, and. But I'm working, and
good.
so I must be doing something right. But it's very interesting how voiceovers and on-camera actors, how we damage ourselves. Well, I don't know, maybe just me. But how you think.
in the sense, yeah.
I wasn't. Oh God, I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that because I thought that was great. Oh God,
Yeah.
but you would tell someone else if they were in your position, going, you know what, you were great. You were
Yeah,
great,
right.
And you weren't the person that they were looking for. Had
Yeah.
nothing to do with you because you are amazingly great, and that's just life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just, what are you going to do? You can't fight City Hall.
No.
You got to do your best and then leave it.
Leave it
Leave it and
behind.
walk away.
You take those sides and you go, shh, 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 and
Yeah.
you throw them away.
Yeah. Kindling. Yeah, it's so true. Otherwise, you drive yourself nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're already nuts.
We're already nuts. We're already there. Right?
What were some of the best techniques you learned from your time at Groundlings?
Well, I was like one of the best things I've ever done. And,
Yeah.
and then have my son too. It gave me so much confidence, and it prepared me for what we do in the business. I love improvising. Most people would be scared to death. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. I seemed to just eat it up. I loved it. I taught.
Oh, that's great.
I directed. You just have to really listen and work off of somebody and not think ahead. So all those kind of things that acting is that way as well. But I still to this day tell anybody, if you ever want to, enjoy something and get something out of me, even if it's just one class, go and do it. Mm-hmm. You will absolutely love every bit of it. And because especially if you go in and you're not like in that mode of, I want to be a groundling, I want to be the top one. No, just take it, moment by moment. It's so good, and it will really help you. So, again, another one of those. Wow, I made a really good choice of getting involved in that, and I still go back every now and then and do something. And most of my close friends are we're still very
And then
close.
Chicago.
No, that's the Second City.
Second City. Okay.
So the Groundlings is
Melrose.
Melrose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And it's still going strong.
Wow. No kidding.
I mean, even during
That's
the
The dreaded pandemic.
yes, we stayed. The Groundlings, we were able
that's
to
great.
stay in business.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard, but we had a lot of people that came and taught things for free and blah, 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 blah. And so it was, I'm very, very proud of them that they somehow were, still struggling about it, but it is one of the best places to be.
Yeah.
That's so great. Wow. I want to do that.
So you
When I
never
grow
did
up-
improv. You beat.
I did, but not on purpose. I mean, I would just, I just couldn't remember a line. I was always in place. And when I was a kid, I was in place, and I was the same way. I wasn't good at remembering lines. But I knew what the scene was going to be about. I knew that, and so I would ad-lib my way around through it. And it,
Which was fine. That's what I'm saying.
it was fine.
You know, I mean, the thing is, if I do, and I've done plays,
Sure.
okay, right now it's like a little more work for me, but I'll do plays, and I remember, trying to get the lines and stuff, because the good thing about a play is you take time.
Yes.
There's
Oh,
more
sure.
time. You're not thrown into, okay,
can
great. All
rehearse.
right, first let's, oh, good. All right, you ready? You know your stuff? Great, let's do it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
And so I would cry, when I'm like, I'm not ready. And this wonderful friend of mine and director, Stan Zimmerman, he said, look, you know the play, you know who you are, you know who your other actor is, you know the story. If something goes, you're an improviser. You're an improviser. It's okay. You'll get back on track. You'll get back on track, and blah, 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 blah.
Start tap dancing.
Yeah. But you just, do whatever it is so that you don't look lost. And, so I really try to use that to help me. That's why I tell people, I'm pretty good at improv. I kind of know, what the scene is about or what we have to do. You'll probably never use my lines because they're funny, which is, what I mean? Sometimes they're really funny.
Yeah.
And so they may not want that. They may want that, because I'll just come out and just say, things that everybody has to go. Because a lot of other people are not improvisers. So if I
Right.
I'm saying something that all of a sudden was not the right thing, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden I said, well, the homeless, I'm living with one of them right now. And you know what I mean? That you, exactly, what you said, that wasn't the
Well,
line.
now,
And, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a really stupid, very quick, thank goodness, story. Yeah, Steve Garvey, the baseball player
Right.
turned politician
Oh, right.
somewhere. when I very first started, I did a lot of work in San Diego, and for some reason, I was down there and I was doing a commercial, and a radio commercial, and it was supposedly he was at bat and I was the catcher. And so, and I've got a catcher's mitt and I'm smacking it and I'm doing this and that. And all right, there, Steve Areno. Looks like you're up next. What are you going to get? You got something for us? And he goes,
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, God.
and he looks at the director and he's dressed to the nines. He's got like $3,000 suit on. I was like,
Jesus.
and I go, okay. And he says, Steve Areno. And I went, oh.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Stevie, the butt plug. Come on, let's go. Get over. And he didn't like that either.
No,
He didn't like that either.
Some people don't feel they're not comfortable with stuff like that.
Apparently, I had to call him Steve. His name's Steve.
Yes.
I said, come on.
But it's polite. Yeah, I know. Isn't that people? But people get weird. Believe me.
Yeah,
If you do improv or you throw something out there, I've had people they freeze, and I'm like, that. But that's why I love improv, because if we're doing something, I got to listen to you. And guess what? We don't say no. We don't negate. Everything is yes and we have to make that work because we are a team. That is how acting, I think, is. We're a team. I'm not any better. I am not gonna be the one that's going to drive the bus. We're both doing it.
Yeah, and acting is at least half reacting.
Yeah. Yes.
Put your ears on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so important.
Yeah, so damn true. But we are freaking solving some shit here today, aren't we?
That's great. It's similar from an
How long
interviewing
is
perspective as well.
this show?
Oh, as long as you want it to be, it doesn't matter.
Oh my God, really? We can do
Two
two
words.
parts?
Yeah, we turn the clocks off. We don't care. As long as the batteries don't die on the cameras. But we can still do it as well. It doesn't matter if we're recording it. We can just chat. Who cares? But I was going to say, with interviewing as well, it's great you can tell when the people who are having a genuine conversation with the interviewee or the ones who are just reading the questions off a sheet. Because they don't actually listen to the response. They wait for the person to stop speaking and then they just ask the next question. And you can tell when people are comfortable with improvising, just going, I'm listening. I know my next question isn't in relation to what you just said, but I'm going to listen to what you just said and base a new question off of your answer.
Yes.
They're the best interviews.
That's a conversation. That's being real.
Yeah.
That's being real. When somebody comes to me and says, hey, I wrote a whole page of questions that I'm going to ask you, and I'm thinking, why?
Yeah.
You're going to say something that everyone knows.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to just, blah, 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 and see what comes out? Or ask me interesting things like, did you ever wear a wig, outside? I mean, things that are just stupid. And
do you do your washing in the toilet?
Yeah, right. Did you ever wash? All right, I did wash my socks because I threw up. Anyway, so that's the stuff I think is more exciting and fun. But when so yeah, I think that's a better way to play.
Yeah.
than
have everything set up so perfectly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's important
It's
to
more real
have
to
questions
people.
and notes it's important to have questions and notes. I think it's just as a backup, but don't rely on them. That's my motto anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And we're all getting to know each other, but we don't want to get to know each other like every other thing that you were ever in. It's the same, going to be the same stuff. It's like, oh, well, no one asked me about having an autistic son. I have one. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it's fun.
How old is your son?
Well, God bless him.
I know. He is 29.
Yeah.
He lives with me. He's on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah.
He came to the last con that we did. He sat there and was on his phone the whole time. And he makes me laugh. And I am just learning so much about him because these people are going to take the world over. There are more and more autistic people that you would ever imagine. Ever. I'm surprised that none of you have said, oh, yeah, my nephew is autistic. Or,
I have a half sister who's
okay, there you go. So everywhere I go, if that comes out, they will say, oh, yeah, I have a blah, 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 blah. And luckily, he's mainstream, not mainstream. So he doesn't like to walk. He likes to eat. He likes to cook.
Boy, I'm there. That's my man right there.
And he's just, and he's really smart, so much smarter
Yeah.
than I am. I mean, we were watching Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm like, and so, I'd
Oh,
watch it,
boy.
and 5 minutes into it, I'd go, okay, Max, what is going on? And he'd go, all right, listen. And he'd go into a whole thing
wow.
that I couldn't even catch up with,
That's great.
So there's some information that, I'm sure people that are going to watch and listen to this are going to go, oh my God, it's my son.
Well, I've met some autistic people, and in our profession, I think a lot of autistic folks are drawn to it because they can analyze it, they can get into it. It's a beautiful thing, and some of them are. I'm this far away from saying it's slightly a superpower.
Yeah.
You may have lost something there, but you've gained something.
It is very different, and there's nothing wrong with them. Their brain is wired differently.
Set up differently.
It's
yeah.
differently. Now, some of them do. They've got the ones that can't speak, and
well,
then it becomes really.
sure.
But these are we can't say, well, which one is he, or is he 5, or is he 7? So that's why I think they say it's just on the spectrum. But and he's adopted. I adopted him. I didn't know what I was going to get. I got the best thing in my whole life. And that's not to say that it hasn't been hard and that we don't, tell each other to fuck you. And but God, you're like, I hit the jackpot with him, and
God bless, yeah.
and I told him, this is what I told him when we were going to this last con. I said, hey, if you want to look at some of the other cons I'm doing, you can. Why don't you come with me? And he's like, Mom, I've been to a lot of these with you. And if I'm coming for you.
No.
Hello.
Come on.
Hello. So,
Wow.
So that's what I get.
What's his name?
That's not bad.
Max. His name is Max Gadsden. I was married, and I'm not. And so it's me and him. Me and Max.
That's great. Yeah, that's
How
great.
how did he first react to seeing Mum on television?
I don't remember that as he didn't react much. I mean, it's not like he cared. We would go out and people would recognize me or something, and they'd come up to me and they'd, want my autograph, or they wanted to talk to me, and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's my mom." He'd be annoyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now he's pretty, he's not in awe. I mean, he would be in awe, of Jim. He would be in awe of other people. So that's why I say, if you look at who is coming, he will say, "Oh my God, I think this one was like, oh my God, it's some guy who does these pictures, and writes things."
Different,
yeah.
right.
And he was like, he couldn't wait to see him and get excited, but he was too nervous. And I said, well, go when you want to go, and blah, blah, blah. And I was signing something, and I was talking to people, and he got up, and I looked at him, and he goes, "I'm going to try." And he did, and he got stuff, but he said his heart was. I said, Max, we all
bless
get
his
like
heart,
that.
yeah.
It's totally, So that's what I love about him. He's so open about being autistic, and he's so open about being like to be alone. He doesn't like socially. They have, and we know a lot of people like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that
last-
aren't given a name. What?
Last week on the show, we had Billy West, voice actor Billy West, who's autistic.
Yes.
And he's very open with it. Yeah.
And Billy West and I, we were sitting across from each other, going to the last con, and he brought up, he goes, "Well, I'm autistic," and I said, "So is my son." Oh my, and he is Billy. I mean, I've never talked to him as much and got to know him. I adore him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I mean, he is just so interesting to watch and talk. Brilliant.
Oh.
And what a lovely person. So that's all it is. Don't be afraid of them.
Yeah. And he's got an encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they are one of the smartest people. Max
Unbelievable.
loves,
Right.
so many things. He loves anime. I mean, he's into. He knows he'll come out and he'll go, "Mom, this girl, blah blah blah. She did anime for blah blah blah, and she died. I'm feeling really sad." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And you know what I mean? I don't know who these people are.
Right.
When he was growing up, he loved he read. He read at a very young age, but he loved things
Oh, that's
like
great.
Martin Luther King. He loved
Like what?
Martin Luther King.
Oh, no kidding.
He like books, and he'd read it over and over. And he loved who? Okay, this is me going boop. The woman from the woman she stayed in a little home, and because she was Jewish.
Oh, Anne Frank.
Oh, and Frank.
Anne Frank.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
In World War II.
Yes.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is this Gal Gadot? Is this Wonder Woman?
But
I've seen that
he
show.
Was, he was obsessed with all of that, and so it was interesting things. Politics, he's a little different. That's all I'm going to say. But I love that he's open to things sometimes, as we all are, and sometimes he's just this is me. This is who I am, and I'm
God bless him.
still at 29. I'm still learning about what not to do, what to do, how much I should do, blah 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 blah. And he's just a sweetheart.
Oh.
Anyway, that's my son Max.
How you doing, Max? This is Jim. This is Uncle Jim saying hello.
Oh, you love that. I hope.
Don't cut that
Hey,
out. Leave that one in.
hey, Chris, should we play a little voice swap game? Because, Mindy does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Oh yeah.
If you're going to ask me to do something I won't remember.
Well, we always know, but we always, whenever we're wrapping things up or what have you, there'll be a voice. Like I'll get a character or two, and give you the line of that character, and then you give me a character, and you give me the line, and I'll do it in my character, but it'll be your line.
So basically,
Did I
Jim
even
will say.
come close to explaining that?
Sort of.
So Jim will quote Winnie the Pooh. He'll do a Winnie the Pooh line.
So
as Winnie the Pooh.
I'll say to him, okay, so if he'd start, I'll say to him, I go, great. Okay, so I want you to do I give a name or do, it's not already made, right?
No, you do the line as a quote from one of your iconic characters. You do it as your character, and then Jim will do the same quote as his character.
And then vice versa. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if
So
I did Frau, so now I give him a sentence and he has to say it?
Yeah.
Wait, is it
Yes.
a sentence that I said? Because I don't remember.
So anything? Do you remember anything from the film? Do you want to Google Frau quotes?
Well, it's pretty much she just yells. Yeah, yes. Let's see. Oh my God, yes. Give me a quote. I don't know.
Send in the
Okay.
clones.
Oh, that's it. That is true. Okay.
Send
But
in the
but she
clowns.
yells. She yells all of
go
that.
for it.
Okay,
I want to hear Winnie. I want to hear
Send
Winnie.
in
I want to hear Winnie the
clones
Pooh
and
yell.
make with the ear splitting loud and booming.
That's it, right?
Sure.
Was that it?
Also, no, so you
Well, I
say send
threw
in
in
the
that last
send in the
part,
clones.
Okay, I'm
you
gonna
say
say-
send in
okay,
the
send in
clones,
the
and Jim does it.
Send in the clones. Whatever those are.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, it was as if we were in the room.
Oh, that was spooky. It's just creepy.
Okay.
It's creepy and spooky. So
Now-
now what does he do for me?
He'll do a line as Tigger or Darkwing or whatever, and then you
And
do
then
it
I
as
just
Frau.
come up with anything because I don't remember what I've done.
Oh
Okay.
no, you just copy the same line he says, but,
But
do
it's
it
as
as
a different
Frau.
character.
As Frau, yeah.
Oh, as Frau. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay.
Okay. So,
Don't make it too long, please.
okay. let's do some Hondo Onaka here. I may not be as young as I once was, but I'm older.
Yes, I may not be as young as I once was, but I am older. Did that work?
That's fine. Yeah, it's great.
I think that was perfect. That was
very
awesome.
funny.
Yeah. And I think it was interesting because now hearing you do that after made Hondo sound vaguely German in my own ear, and I know he's not. I don't know. I don't think he's anything. But,
But that's funny. Oh my God, that's a very funny character. See, there's so many of your stuff I don't know.
same here. but don't worry. If I go to a con, my favorite one is when I very first started doing this. These guys were adamant. Do the line, and I went, oh.
And you couldn't remember
I'm
what.
a terror flaps. No, the line. Oh, bother. No, the line. And I went through like 3 or 4 characters that you would think. And they go, no, someone from Baldur's Gate, go for the eyes, boo. And I go, okay, I did that 30 years ago. How could that be the line?
Wow.
The line?
For them it was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for them it was the line. And
And you would never have picked that, right?
No, I literally
You
couldn't
yeah,
remember.
You know what oh God,
Yeah,
that's
they had to tell me.
Well, how many different characters that are different? I mean, because there's
Yeah.
always like, have you ever done the same character in something else, but nobody would know that? I mean, is
probably.
that can people do that? I guess you
Sure.
can because
Yeah.
how many? You're doing maybe a little bit different,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I had a lot of New York tough guys in Chicago. You know what I mean? What the hell you looking at? So, what? But yeah, I think you have to. You're going to end up sounding like yourself.
Yeah.
Here and there, it's just going to happen.
Yeah. So, but I don't think I could do this. When people, when I did this, I got a lot of people that wanted to have me audition or wanted to use me as Frau. Mm-hmm. And I said, I can't do that.
Yeah. How about no?
I mean, yeah, and so.
How about no?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I should have said no.
Sorry, I
but
couldn't
you know
resist.
what I thought? There's more I can do, you guys. You're just going to have to trust me. But yeah, that was a weird thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And besides, you have to pay. You
Yeah,
you
and I
got to
went,
pay for
no,
that.
it's, I mean, I can do it, and in the con, but I'm not
Yeah.
for another show.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I've had people ask me to do a cameo for them, or something at a con, and could you do it as Winnie the Pooh, and then could you say, beep, expletive, and I go, no, no, you don't have that kind of money.
Oh my God! So they wanted you to say something horrible?
Oh yeah, they want me to say something horrible,
fuck you,
something
motherfucker.
sexual, or something.
Oh
So-
my! As Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
know.
gross.
I know, and I just told him, I said, okay, first of all, no, and second of all, really no.
Oh
Just
yeah,
lots of
that's
no.
terrible. That is
Yeah,
just.
back up the no truck
Oh
and
no,
dump it
we
on
don't
him.
care for you. We do not give me that autograph picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually ripped up one thing one time.
Really?
Because, there was a few years ago, these guys brought, hey, we did this ourselves. Look, there's Pooh, and look what he's doing. I go, yeah, that's great. Oh, darn, and I ripped it.
But it was theirs or yours?
It was theirs. I don't care.
What did they say?
We're going to have you sign that, man.
Oh my God! So
And I
they
said,
were-
no, it's okay. I wasn't going to sign it. So now, I'm really not going to sign it. And I threw it in the trash. I'm not even going to
But
tell
they
you
were
what it was.
they sounded like they were really fucked up. Right?
Well, that too, yeah. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Big shock. Right. Oh, God. Jesus. I turned into my dad for a minute there,
I love it. I know that was that is so inappropriate.
Yeah.
So inappropriate.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah.
How many different what do you call them? Not dolls. Things.
Pops or
whatever things
Funko Pops or
I don't know. I don't have a Cocoa Pop thing, but whatever you call them, things that you have, I don't know.
Action figures?
Thank you.
Oh,
This is what my son does when I can't. I start to talk and I go, and he goes like this. He goes,
oh God. Thanks.
yes, figurines.
Yes. Figure eights?
Do you have figure eights? Do you have any
Eames.
figure eights?
I do, but I don't have any of them here. Damn it. Sorry.
How many do you have?
I don't know. Winnie the Pooh has X amount of them, and Darkwing Duck has a couple of them.
So they can.
and
People
Tigger
can buy those things.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they sure are.
That's pretty cool. Nobody.
Yeah.
They never did anything with me for Austin Powers.
That's weird. It seems like they.
Yeah,
she
I
would have
mean,
been
you
a
know what? I
natural.
was the one on the low one on the totem pole when it started, and but also too they didn't do. Okay, number one.
Well,
Who's
they
number
have-
one? Number two. Who's number two? What's his name?
The actor's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, he's such a young boy. Yeah, it was what's his name? Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner. So they didn't do me or him.
Oh.
I know. And yeah.
That's weird.
So I never really got anything from that, but
Well, they're going to see this podcast, and that's going to change there, Missy.
So, but you
I'll
know
tell
what?
you that right now.
Somebody did make one about this big for me because they knew that I never gotten it, and they brought it. This was a couple of years ago, and they brought it in, and they said, "Just I know that you'd never got a, blah blah blah," and put it all together, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And it was just about this big, but I still have it. I mean, I was like,
That's great.
"Isn't that sweet?"
Very.
So yeah, there are things I definitely have kept. And,
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
because I thought that was a lovely thing to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm just looking up on
Took
Google
the
here. There's
time.
costumes for you, just not action figures.
What?
There's Frau costumes you can buy, just not action figures.
Right. Yeah. Well, but then that's that. What does that do for me?
Yeah.
I get nothing from it. I get,
Yeah.
I don't get anything off on it. I have a couple of things that I took. I think the last, Frau, fashion, and was like, "Can I take that home?" Sure.
There you go.
And then I could say to my son, I think I even have one of the original, the very first time that Austin Powers, the very first script, and I went and I went into my son and I went, "Hey, just want you to know, when I go, you better get a lot of money."
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God, that's funny. I did that same thing when I first started. I was Dumbo Circus, and it was my first job in the business many moons ago. And I started saving. I thought, well, this would be great when I'm dead, my kids will sell these or do whatever. And I filled up a trunk. Then I was starting to work on the second trunk, and I go, wait, I don't plan on dying for a while.
What am I going
And I'm not going to give myself a hernia every time I walk into this room, because paper, it's heavy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I did with them, but I don't have them.
Oh, you really don't know where it is?
Yeah, I don't know what I did with them, but
How interesting.
yeah, I mean, I save a couple of them now.
People have made like a puppet of Frau.
Oh, wow.
This big puppet.
That's great.
I mean, when you get that, I'm sorry, when you get something
you've
like
arrived.
that, you have arrived. No matter
You're
what I
there,
do
you're
from now
home.
on, it's kind of like, wow, that they put together something like that and knew I was going to be there.
Yeah.
Love them,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta love that.
Yeah.
That's love. That's fandom.
big love.
That is true fan dart.
Did you get to meet Beyonce?
Yes, she was very sweet. She thought my son was adorable at the time, and yeah, very, very lovely. The women were like, gorgeous. You can't stop looking at them, watching them, and blah blah blah. But I hung out like with Seth Green.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were not, working in stuff, we would just hang out together. So I became like friends with him, and Mini-Me.
Vern.
Vern, he was really sweet.
Yeah.
And then the stories came from Robert Wagner.
Oh, yeah?
And there was another British person that was on the show. He, I can't remember.
Good old, what's his name?
Yeah, sorry.
Michael York? Is he?
Oh, no, he was there too. But no, who's the other one that came in for the last one?
Michael Caine?
Who?
Was Michael Caine in those
Michael
films?
Caine?
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine.
Oh my God.
Yes. I could do a bad Michael Caine.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
But he'd have
mean,
great
thank you.
stories, and stories where you go, oh, okay.
Right. Well,
One of my favorite Michael Caine stories is they asked me about Jaws 4: The Revenge, a terrible film, right? They go, "What do you think about your role in Jaws 4?" And he goes, "Never saw it, but I do enjoy the house that it paid for."
Yes.
Isn't that the
Yes.
truth? Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's funny.
I remember his big joke was, so a British man goes home a bit early, isn't he? And he walks into his bedroom, and there's his wife in bed with 3 blokes. And he says, hello, hello, hello. And that's the funny joke. It's over.
I love that.
Yeah, it's British humor, right?
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
What is the hardest thing for you to do?
Taz. Physically.
Because it's just
Because I can do this part all day long, but when we were doing that show, I said, okay, this is great. I love it. I'm poo and the anti-poo. But we have to do it on Friday afternoon because get the weekend to heal.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
Yeah,
smart.
and they were kind. They let me do it.
Oh,
so.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's when I always think about this. I would get a little Evian bottle or not Evian, some water, and get a bunch of because it has to be no bubbles.
Oh, so regular water.
And then you get like 2 or 3 Ricola cough drops and you put it in there.
Oh, and you do that
and
thing,
you put it there, and as soon as it looks disgusting, you can drink it because then it's good and it coats the throat. And maybe
that's
we should
interesting.
hit Ricola for a co-op for some.
Yeah, they should be helping with your whatever
some
you
commercial
call it. Sponsor,
airtime.
right? Sponsor.
Sponsors, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you got your work cut out for you. All right. Well, this is so cool that you came and did this with us.
I
can't thank you enough.
Well, I'm incredibly flattered that you asked me. I love seeing you when we were out
Sure.
there. You are a treat. You are an inspiration. You are just a nice human being.
Bless your heart.
And a little too much drink. No, I'm
Yeah,
teasing. I'm totally
that's
teasing.
ridiculous.
And so I know that's wrong. No, but I thank you guys because I feel like I've made it.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, guys, thanks for checking out the latest episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings with Mindy Sterling. If you're watching us on YouTube, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and comment below. Tell us what you think of the show. Jim reads all of the comments, and he is much, much appreciated. Remember, you can also follow us on social media at Jim Cummings Pod. And if you want to get in touch, it's jimcummingspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want early and ad-free access to the show, as well as access to exclusive bonus content, you can support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/Jim Cummings Podcast. Mindy, once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Jim, Chris, it's always a pleasure.
We've done it again.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you in the next episode of Tuned In with Jim Cummings.
Thank you.
Can I come back?
Yes.
Sure can.
Any damn time.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Oh my God, it was so fun.